The Galaxy S25 Edge was supposed to be something really special. Samsung teased it earlier this year at their Unpacked event. People got excited because it looked like the start of a new trend in smartphones. Super thin, but still powerful. Everyone thought Samsung was taking a big step forward, but now things aren't looking so good. In recent years, phone makers haven't been bringing out many new ideas. Most of the cool changes, especially with cameras, are coming from Chinese brands like Xiaomi and Vivo. But those phones aren't always easy to buy in the US or Europe. Big names like Samsung and Apple have mostly been making small improvements instead of big changes. That's why the idea of a super thin phone felt exciting, and Samsung was ready to beat Apple to it. On paper, the Galaxy S25 Edge sounded great. It's a thinner and lighter version of the Galaxy S25 Plus, but with very similar specs. It has a 6.66-inch A&O LED screen with a 120Hz refresh rate, a fast Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, 12 GB of RAM, and up to 512 GB of storage. The phone is built from titanium, is only 6.4 millimeters thick, and weighs just 162 grams. The camera setup includes a 200 megapixel main camera with OIS optical image stabilization, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 10 megapixel front camera. The battery is 3,900 mAh, and it supports 25-watt charging. While the battery is smaller than the one in the S25 Plus, it still seemed like a solid option for people who want a lightweight phone without losing too much performance. But then the price leaked, and that's where things got bad. In some European countries like Italy, the 256 gigabytes version of the Galaxy S25 Edge is listed for €1,360. That's around $1,100 in the US, which is $100 more than the S25 Plus with the same storage. And that's confusing because the Edge has a smaller battery and fewer cameras. It doesn't offer anything new that makes it worth more money. Apple, on the other hand, seems to have a better plan. Their upcoming iPhone 17 Air is expected to cost around $900. That's cheaper than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Even though the Air will have fewer features, Apple is still adding cool stuff, like the promotion 120Hz screen and possibly a new kind of battery that charges faster and lasts longer. Apple seems to understand that a thin phone has to be priced right. Samsung seems to think just being thin makes the Edge worth more. But that's not true if the thinness means you lose things like battery life or camera options. And it's not just about specs. The whole tech world is dealing with rising costs because of new tariffs. That means both Samsung and Apple have to be smart about pricing. So far, Apple looks like it has the better strategy. Samsung could have made the S25 Edge the phone of the year. It has good features, a beautiful AMO LED screen, a powerful chip, a 200 megapixel camera, and a premium titanium frame. It comes in silver, black, and blue. It's also water and dust resistant, IP68 rated. But none of that matters if people think it's too expensive. Right now, it looks like Samsung is taking a big risk. If they don't change the price before launch, the S25 Edge could fail. Not because it's a bad phone, but because people won't think it's worth the money. Apple might end up winning the race for thin phones simply because they balance features and price better. Samsung still has time to fix this, but if they don't, the Galaxy S25 Edge might become a warning for other brands. Don't assume people will pay more just because something is thin and shiny.